We're now going to move to Dr. Ralph Salvagno. He's an orthopedic surgeon. And just so folks know that this isn't even a partisan thing, he's a Republican mayor of the town of Hancock, Maryland, and the spokesperson for Doctors for Cannabis Regulation.
Thank you very much. I will, since this seems to be a Prince George's County Love Fest, I did grow up in Prince George's County, went to University of Maryland, so nice to see people from Prince George's County, even up here in Washington County.
Too.
Yeah, all right. So I am a physician and I practiced in the state of Maryland for 30 years. As you know, I'm mayor of a small town, but I'm a father, a grandfather, and this kind of gives me the emotional support. But as a physician, I'm kind of taught to look at evidence, look at medical evidence to support opinions. And in regard to adult use cannabis, the evidence is indisputable. Appropriately cultivated and regulated cannabis is safer than beverage alcohol use. We all know cannabis use has become part of the social fabric of all age groups. As physicians, when we see a patient in our office, we take a history and we take a social history and we ask things about alcohol use. We ask about tobacco use. But because of the stigma attached to adult cannabis use, we don't really ask, or the information is not available. That's just not good medicine, and we need to be free to be able to do that. We all know that since the dawn of time, people have always looked for something for relaxation or calming or social bonding. And for a lot of Marylanders, that's cannabis. But it comes at a risk. There are benefits, but there are risks. The risk is that the cannabis that we could smoke or ingest could be laced with molds, bacteria, solvents, or heavy metals. Cannabis, the plant, is a bioaccumulator. That means it has a special propensity to kind of draw chemicals out of the soil. And whether that soil if the soil is contaminated with old pesticide residues or heavy metals like lead, they accumulate in the plant, they accumulate in the consumer. If we go back many years to the experience of the Prohibition era with deaths caused by the production of hooch, we know that from a public health and safety standpoint, reasonable and responsible regulation is really always the best solution. I think this state's experience with medical cannabis has shown us that the industry can cooperate with reasonable testing standards. Consumers, I think, really appreciate the fact that they know that the products they're using are safe. And I feel that adult use cannabis consumers should be provided with the same assurance of safety, whether their product is bought at a dispensary like Ms. Wiseman's, or whether they choose to grow it at their own home. So I just offer this conclusion. I believe it's our civic responsibility, whether we're a physician, legislator, or concerned individuals, that we should create responsible and reasonable standards for adult use cannabis in the state of Maryland. And I think this bill goes a long way towards doing that. Thank you.
Thank you, Doctor. And I didn't know you were born and raised in Prince George's. That's good to know.